Okay guys, so now let's install Flutter on Windows. Now this process is a bit lengthy, so I would suggest you guys to make sure that you have a good internet connection. We will be downloading Git, Android Studio, Flutter and Visual Studio Code. So let's quickly see how that process begins. So this is the official website for Flutter. You can explore this website and you will basically be able to see what all projects were built in Flutter. Right now we want to install Git. So go to this website git/scm.com and you can directly write Git also on Google. So what is Git? Git basically helps you collaborate with other developers on a project. Okay. So right now we want to download this Git and you don't need to have an in-depth knowledge of Git for Flutter. So right now you have to click on Windows and then go to 64-bit for Windows setup and you can just click there and it will download Git for you. Now we also want to install Android Studio in order to use emulators. So download Android Studio and you have to accept all these terms and then download. Okay. So let it download and now that you can see that Git is downloaded. So let's install Git. Now in the Git installation, you only have to click next all the time. Next, click next all the time. Keep clicking next. Next again, next. Okay. So everything is fine here and now we will be installing Git. Okay. Okay, now let's untick that and finish. Now what we want to do is open command prompt and just write Git. If this comes, this means that Git has successfully installed. Now write Git version. Okay, so now what we want to do is install Flutter. So you can go to this website, you can just write Flutter installation on Google and this website will come on top only. So click on Windows and down there these are the PC requirements that you need to have, and then down here you can either download a zip file or you can just copy this line. Okay, let's copy it. Open your PC and make a folder in the C drive by the name src. Make a folder src. Now you can open your command prompt and you can write cd ... Now cd ... basically lets you go to the previous file. Okay, in the folder you can see that the folders are changing every time. And now you want to change it to the src folder. So write cd src. And now we will paste that line that we copied. So the moment you paste the line, it will automatically clone Flutter. So this is how you download Flutter. Okay, you download it through command prompt. Now let's wait while Flutter is being downloaded. Okay, now what we want to do is install Android Studio. Open Android Studio installer. And you can see that Flutter is still downloading. It might take a while, it honestly depends on your internet connection, so make sure that you have a good internet connection if you want to download Flutter, Android Studio or any other software that we will be downloading in this course. Okay, let's wait. So as I told you, this is a bit lengthy process, so try to catch up. Alright, now let's wait for Android Studio and you can see that Android Studio installer has opened and you can also see that Flutter is now downloaded in the src folder. Now you can also check your Flutter version here and you can see that right now it's not recognizing my Flutter version. This is because we need to add Flutter to path. Okay, so basically go in the Flutter folder and copy the address of this bin folder. Okay, so let's go on the bin folder. Now right here in the search, write edit environment variables, and you can click on the first link, and in the environment variables click on path. Okay, in the first column only, and here click on new to add a new path, and this is basically adding the path. Okay, so press OK, and now press OK again. Okay, okay, so next and install. So let's wait for it to install Android Studio. Okay, so you can see that now, right now when we ran the Flutter Doctor command, all these different packages are being installed. So Flutter Doctor command basically tells you that if there is any problem within your Flutter. So you can see that multiple red crosses and problems appeared. This is because we haven't installed our emulator, Android Studio or anything. Okay, so this might come for you as well. So right now don't worry about these. And you can see that Android Studio is installed. Okay, so finish Android Studio. Okay, now let's do next, and Android Studio will open. Let's wait for Android Studio to open. So let's go next, and you need to agree to all these terms. Press accept. Okay, so you have to then click on this and accept these terms as well. And finally this one, press accept. If you want to read, you can read as well. Okay, now our Android Studio is also completely installed. Now let's open it up. So let's create our virtual device. Okay, let's create, and I usually use Pixel 4 because it's a big enough screen for me. So let's click next, and you need to download an Android version first. So I will be downloading this version. Download, and let's wait for it to download. Okay, now our Android version is also installed. Let's click on finish. Select the Android version that you downloaded and click next, and finish. Okay, and it will take a while, and your Android emulator is now developed. Now we also have to install a plugin for Flutter, so go on plugin and write here Flutter. So the moment you write F, you will see that Flutter appears. You can install it. Honestly, this is not a compulsion to install this plugin. We will be anyways using Visual Studio Code to write our code, and we won't be using Android Studio, so you can write if you want, and it's not necessary. Okay, now you want to restart your IDE. IDE is basically where you will be writing the code. Okay, and let's wait for it to restart. By the way, Android Studio is better for beginners, but Visual Studio Code is much faster, so that's why I use Visual Studio Code. Okay, and now you can see that by default a Flutter new project option appears. And now guys, one last thing that we have to install is Visual Studio Code. Now make sure that you are not installing Visual Studio but Visual Studio Code. Yes, they both are different. Now click on download for Windows. This is the software where we will be writing our code. Okay, and this is the best software to write code. Okay. So let's download it, and the moment you click download, you will see that an option for downloading the installer appears. Now let it download. It's also a smaller setup compared to Android Studio, but you cannot uninstall Android Studio because you have to use the emulators, right, in order to run your programs for Flutter. So we will be using Visual Studio Code. Just click on the installer. Let's accept the agreement. Next, 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 and okay. So let's select this one, next, and install. Okay. So with this guys, we have installed all of our different IDEs and softwares that we needed. One last thing, I know that it's been already so many things that we had to download and it's already looking like a regret. I know guys, but Flutter is honestly a really powerful tool and you should definitely consider installing all these that I showed you in this video. Okay, so there is one last thing that you need to install, which is a plugin for Flutter for Visual Studio. So first open Visual Studio, and the moment you install, Visual Studio opens usually itself. Okay, and let's wait for it to open. So you can choose whichever theme you want to use. You will be mostly using a dark theme, and dark theme is the best. If you like light theme, then you are maniac. Sorry to break it to you. I'm kidding. Okay, so select the dark theme, and dark theme is already selected. Now the extension, the plugin that you have to install, go to this and just write here Flutter. And you can click on Flutter and install. You can see that the blue tick is appearing. This means that it's verified, and let's click on install. This will also install Dart for you, so you don't have to separately install Dart. Just let's look at it. So you can search for Dart and you can see that it's already installing Dart as well. So that's a great thing. And next, and after you install Dart and Flutter, everything is now done. Okay, now your entire installation process is complete finally. Now all you want to do is just start building projects. Now you can also download other extensions from here, and if you want to by chance use Python or any other language, then you can use that in Visual Studio Code only. If you are a programmer already, then you will know about Visual Studio Code, and if you are new to programming, then I would highly suggest you to use this. You can also use Android Studio. There isn't much difference, but try using Visual Studio Code. So one last thing that I like to install within, I know guys. So one last thing that I like to install is this GitHub theme, and which gives Visual Studio Code a better look. So here I want to select the moment I install it, this option appears. Okay, I can also get this option by Ctrl+Shift+P and writing theme. So I will select the dark theme, and you can see that it's already looking way better. So with this guys, our installation is finally complete. So now let's start programming in Dart. Let's go.